HeartGold and SoulSilver are the faithful, amazing remakes of Pokémon Gold and Silver. These remakes came out in 2009, September 12th in Japan, and March 14th, 2010 in America. These remakes are very faithful to the original Gold and Silver, while adding a lot of new content. They also don't really fix certain issues the original releases had. Do these games still hold up? Let's get into it. The story of HeartGold and SoulSilver are just like the originals. This game takes place 3 years after Red and Blue, or even Fire Red Leaf Green. With this game taking place 3 years later, Team Rocket is causing trouble in the Johto region, the region this game takes place in. And they're trying to cause havoc and cutting Slowpoke tails off, making radio signals to make a Gyarados evolve. All this to try to get Giovanni's attention, because they want to make a comeback, but Giovanni just never shows up. In this game, you play as Gold, or Ethan, and your rival is Silver, which is some punk red-haired kid, and he's kind of like Blue from the previous generation. He's very arrogant. I feel like he's even more of a douchebag, if you will. In the original Gold and Silver, you couldn't play as a female until Crystal version came out, and I believe the female character on theirs name was Chris. On here, they have a whole new character named Lyra, female protagonist, so you can choose her or Ethan, Gold. The reason why the Chris character from Crystal never came back is probably because this is just like a Gold Silver remake and has nothing to do with Crystal, I suppose. Not really sure. After you choose your protagonist and name them, you start your journey in Johto. You can make your way to Professor Elm's lab and choose one of the 3 starters new to this region. You can choose Cyndaquil, the fire type, Totodile, the water type, or Chikorita, the grass type. I will say, Chikorita is like the hard mode of this game, if you will. You're probably gonna have the toughest time with Chikorita. Totodile's probably medium, and then Cyndaquil's like the best to choose, I believe. Totodile or Cyndaquil, either or. Just like every Pokemon game, there's 8 gym badges to obtain. The thing about Johto is that it's connected to Kanto. So once you beat the game, you go back to Kanto, since it's Johto and Kanto are so close to each other. So with that, the 8 gym badges in Johto, they don't repeat types. So there's not another rock gym, another water gym. In Johto, they use the types that weren't used in Kanto's gyms. So you have a flying gym in Johto, a bug gym. So that's why picking Chikorita can be pretty hard. It has a lot of disadvantages. Even for the Elite Four, since this game takes place 3 years later, after Red and Blue, some of the Elite Four members are different too, and the type matchups might be hard for Chikorita. It doesn't really matter who you choose as a starter, as long as you build a good team around it to help, but just keep that in mind. Throughout Johto, you'll explore many vibrant landscapes, areas, catch wild Pokemon, battle lots of trainers, catch Pokemon, the usual, and then you'll battle the gym leaders, come across Team Rocket, even your rival, which comes in at the most unexpected times, so always be ready for that. There's even lots of berries to find, Oran berries, Frost berries, tons of them, and there's apricorn trees that you can shake, and these apricorns can be brought to the second gym city, to a man named Kurt, and each apricorn is different colors, and he'll make one into a Pokeball, a certain type of Pokeball that you can't buy in shops, I believe. It will take a whole entire day with like the in-game clock matching the real-world clock. So you can only make like one a day, but that's something else you can do. Lots of fun there. Something about the Johto region is I feel like you can move through it very quickly, as in like other games like Hoenn. Sure, you can move quickly in any Pokemon game, but for some reason I just feel like the Johto portion just goes by very, very fast. I don't know if it's like a smaller region in general, but I just feel like the pacing just goes like by very quickly. The gym battles on here aren't too bad. Good challenge. I will talk about the 5th, 6th, and 7th gym here in a little bit, but for the most part they provide a good challenge and they're lots of fun, just like in previous Pokemon games. The thing about Johto is once you get to the 4th gym city, Ecruteak City, and you beat the gym leader, there's a branching path. You can go right to Mahogany Town, and that's where like the Lake of Rage and all that stuff is, I believe. Or you can turn left and go to the lighthouse with the sick Ampharos, and then you go to the city to get the medicine, the 5th gym city, Cianwood. So, because of that, there's a level curve in this game. Everything is steady up until the 4th gym, and then once you get to after the 4th gym, the Pokemon from the 5th, 6th, and 7th gym that you find in the wild, they'll all roughly be the same level. Even the trainers you fight and Team Rocket, they're all like the same level. So from the 5th, 6th, and 7th gym leader, you're really not gaining too much experience because they're all around the same level. Especially the Team Rocket hideout in Mahogany Town. It's like they're very low level, so it's just like, because of that, there's like a level curve that can just be like a pain in the butt, you know? Especially when you're getting ready for the Elite Four, which is a way higher level, you know? Even the 8th gym leader is a little higher level than all that, so the level curve is something, and they didn't really do nothing to fix it in the remakes, really. But it's not that bad, I suppose. A problem I have with the gym leaders on here is, especially the 4th, 5th, and 6th gym, they're all around the same level, you know? Like the 5th gym leader in Cianwood, he's not really that much stronger than the 6th gym leader. And the 5th gym leader, Chuck, I believe his name is, he only has like 2 Pokemon or something, you know? And it's just like, I don't know. It just feels a little weird. And like 90% of these gym leaders in Johto use Kanto Pokemon. You know, it's a Johto region. Shouldn't they be using like brand new Johto Pokemon? There's over 100 Johto Pokemon. Even the Pokemon you find in the wild in Johto, like 80% of them are Kanto. So I don't know how I feel about that, but it's not a big issue. And yes, Whitney's Miltank, the 3rd gym leader, I know it's a pain in the butt with the rollout, and then it tries to immobilize you with like all that. That can be annoying, but in general, the gym leaders are fine, but it could have used some work, and this is a remake, so you think they would like adjust some stuff, but it's fine. Your rival in this game, Silver, or whoever you choose to name him, he's an arrogant punk, and he tries to like push you around sometimes, and like I said, he appears at the most random times, so always be prepared. Like right before you enter a new route or city, he might be there. Even in the Team Rocket's hideout, he'll be there after you're done battling a bunch of grunts already. He kind of goes on an arc, and spoiler alert, he's Giovanni's son, so maybe he's got some daddy issues, and that's why he's like so upset with Team Rocket. But he goes like on a personality arc where he's like such a douche, and then eventually, like at the very end, he's like, he keeps losing. He's like, why are my Pokemon so weak and blah blah blah. And then eventually he's like, I'm gonna do this the right way. But it happens at the end of the game. So I feel like with like Blue in the previous game, he was just a better rival, and like the plot twist that he was the champion was just more like wow moment, you know? But Silver's an alright rival, nothing bad with him. The Elite Four on here is different from Red and Blue or Fire Red, Leaf Green. Lorelei, the first person I believe in Kanto, is gone entirely. It's replaced with some guy named Will. Some type changes, like poison type and all that stuff. And Agatha, the old lady, I think she's gone as well. But Lance's team with the Dragonites and the Aerodactyl, it's very similar to Fire Red, Leaf Green and all that. So you might want to like build a good team because, like I said, the level curve. The Pokemon in the Elite Four are like level 50 or 60 if I remember. So be ready for that. Just try to level up. I got lucky and caught Raikou, however you want to pronounce it. So I had like level 40 Pokemon on my team, as well as my Typhlosion and all the other stuff. Gyarados I leveled up. But just make a good team and share the XP share with everybody. Just like, if you have like 4 strong Pokemon, you'll be fine for the most part, especially with right typings. The amazing thing about Gold and Silver and these remakes, HeartGold, SoulSilver, is that you get to go back to Kanto. A lot of Pokemon games have like a post-game, like a Battle Tower, or even the Battle Frontier, which is cool. But this lets you go back to a whole nother region, and that's just really awesome. And with this remake, they've added so much new stuff. When you first arrive in Kanto, you'll have to do the gym leaders out of order. You'll arrive in Vermilion City, which is the 3rd gym. You'll fight Lieutenant Surge, and then you'll just keep working your way through each city, but you're going to have to do these out of order, so just be ready for that. The gym leaders in Kanto are very high level. They're like level 50, 55, 60, I believe. Good challenge, and they're not like too bad, but lots of fun, and it's nice like seeing a familiar face and getting to rebattle them. I will say, the whole Kanto region, as someone who's just recently beaten Fire Red Leaf Green again, I will say the Kanto version on here, like the map of Kanto, just looks a little different, you know? Like Cerulean City, for example, they've like added some new land masses and stuff, and I get it, it's like a 3-year time gap, but some things just look a little like, you know? Also, like the map of Kanto, they're kind of like missing certain things. The Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town got turned into like a radio tower, and they moved like the grave site into like a cathedral in the city instead. In the Celadon department store, they used to like sell like Firestones, Waterstones, Thunderstones, you know, blah blah blah. But they don't even sell those on here in that city department store. Not that I know of, because I looked for them. But I just feel like, as I just got done playing Fire Red Leaf Green, like I feel like they should have just included that, you know, like the stones and stuff. But it's whatever. But it's a good Kanto, but just know it's not like the full-fledged Kanto from Fire Red Leaf Green and Red and Blue and all that. So there are some things that have changed, and you don't get the Pokeflute, so you'll have to wake up Snorlax with your Poketech. You have to like tune into like a radio station and to wake a Snorlax up that's blocking the Diglett Cave. Just like every Pokemon game, there's the main legendaries that you can catch that are on the box art. SoulSilver, you'll catch Lugia. HeartGold, you'll catch Ho-Oh. If you go to Pewter City in Kanto, you'll actually get the opposite item you need to get entrance to the other legendary's location. So if you're playing SoulSilver, you'll talk to some random guy in Pewter City, and then you'll get like the item to get entrance to the tower to get to Ho-Oh. So even though most Pokemon games nowadays, you just like catch one box art legendary, on HeartGold and SoulSilver, you can actually catch both of them. So you can catch Ho-Oh and Lugia in SoulSilver if you really wanted to. There's also the roaming legendary beasts, Entei, Raikou, and Suicune. Suicune, you'll have to like find each location he's at, and eventually you have to chase him down to Kanto. And Entei and Raikou, or Raikou, they're roaming, and you can open like your map and look for them. So they're random encounters. You're just like, you could track them down, but I would strongly suggest you just use your bike and go route by route, because if you fly to a city near them, they'll just like randomly run away somewhere. Also, if you save before battling them and then you reboot your game, they'll just be somewhere else entirely, so that doesn't really work. Buy some quick balls. I got lucky and caught Raikou or Raikou with a quick ball on my first try, so that was awesome. Got super lucky with that. And then you can go to Kanto, you can catch Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno after doing some like side quest stuff. You can also catch Mewtwo. Lots of fun. After obtaining all 16 badges, you can go to Mount Silver, which is like the final post-game area. The Pokemon here in the wild are like level 40, and inside Mount Silver, the cave, they're like level 50, I believe. Make your way through there, you can find Moltres, but also you can battle Red, the previous main character who was in Red, Blue, and Fire Red, Leaf Green. So that's pretty cool that you get to face yourself from the previous game. And that would have been cool how with Black and White and Black and White 2, they have like the memory link thing. If they can like somehow connect HeartGold, SoulSilver to Fire Red, Leaf Green, you can like battle your previous team. That would have been pretty cool. But you battle Red on here. He has a level 88 Pikachu. The rest of his Pokemon are just like low 80s, but it's still a challenge, and be ready. Especially with the level curve on here, it's going to be pretty hard to get like a full stack team for this fight. Even if you have like a Typhlosion with Earthquake against his Pikachu could still outspeed you and one-shot you with Volt Tackle, so just be aware of that. Once you beat Red, the credits roll again. They've rolled after the Elite Four as well. And then that's the final challenge in the game. That's such an epic final boss fight. After that, you can go to Professor Oak's lab, and he'll give you a Kanto starter. You could choose Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur. Also, if you do a side quest with the girl in Saffron City, the copycat girl, you can find her doll in the Pokemon fan club in Vermilion. You can meet Steven Stone, the champion of Hoenn of Ruby and Sapphire, and you complete some steps, and then you can get a Hoenn starter. So you can get a Kanto and Hoenn starter on here. So you can have the first 3 generations of Pokemon starters if you want, like one of each. So you can pick Mudkip, Torchic, Trico. That's awesome. And you can also hunt down Latios if you're in SoulSilver, HeartGold, Latios. And you can catch Groudon and Kyogre, the legendaries of Ruby and Sapphire. Groudon in SoulSilver, Kyogre in HeartGold. And if you specifically trade a Kyogre from HeartGold to SoulSilver, you can even battle Rayquaza. So there's just so much post-game stuff. It's so awesome. The biggest thing I haven't even talked about yet is your Pokemon following you. And that's just so awesome. Each Pokemon has a unique sprite, and they're all animated. Even if you have like a female Wobbuffet, which they usually have lipstick on, it'll show it on the sprite. So that's just awesome. So much care and detail went into these sprites and just the work in the game in general. It's so awesome. And you just walk with your favorite Pokemon. You could talk to them, get different expressions from them. So much fun. Something else to mention is that Kanto's Safari Zone moved to Johto. So in Johto, specifically HeartGold and SoulSilver, you can like organize the Safari Zone to your liking. You can customize it. You can choose where like each area is. Like you can put a mountain area in a certain block, put a grass area to the left. So you can customize it, and then certain Pokemon only appear in certain terrains, so that's pretty cool. In Kanto, since the Safari Zone moved, that's where Pal Park is, and that's where you can migrate Pokemon from the GBA games. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, Leaf Green. and you can bring your Pokemon up to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. They had that in Pearl, Diamond, and Platinum as well. To note something though is you can't bring them back to the GBA games, so just make sure you're aware of that and don't do something you'll regret. Heart Gold and Soul Silver introduced this brand new device called the Pokewalker. It's basically a pedometer, and at the time when this game came out, it was one of the most accurate pedometers around. So it tracks your footsteps, and you can transfer a Pokemon to it. And so you walk with your Pokemon, you choose different routes. Each 20 steps equals 1 watt, and those watts can be used to find Pokemon on the Pokewalker, find berries, and lots of little fun little mini games you do on there. The thing with Pokemon on there is that you can only... There's 3 groups, A, B, and C. And so say like a Zigzagoon and Wurmple are in Group C. Each time you transfer a Pokemon to the Pokewalker, you'll only find one of those, not both, in Group C. So the more steps you take, the more likely you'll see more Pokemon. Like each Pokemon has like a threshold. Like after 5,000 steps, you'll start seeing this Pokemon. So it's very cool, and it incentivizes people to like get out and walk before Pokemon Go was a thing. Very fun. Something to mention though is that your Pokemon and your save file, your Pokewalker and save file are connected. So you can't just delete your save file and then try to get that Pokemon. It won't work. That Pokemon will be stuck on there, and you'll have to like delete the save data on your Pokewalker. So just something to note that your Pokewalker is connected to your save file. So if you delete your save file at any point, the Pokemon that's on your Pokewalker will be stuck on there forever. Just be aware of that. The Pokewalker is awesome and I love it. Very cool little side contraption you can use to pair with the game. The music in this game is amazing and I love it. The soundtrack, the gym leader theme, and Johto. Epic. I like the Kanto version, but I think the Johto version is just even more epic. But the Kanto trainer battle theme is just so awesome. That's very, very epic. The music in general is just amazing. I love it, the whole soundtrack. And there's a couple tunes you'll get like stuck in your head because they're just so catchy. Overall, this whole game is incredible. It's the best Pokemon remakes we've ever had. And many would say it's the best Pokemon games of all time. While I love these games, I don't think they're the best. They're amazing and so much content, but they didn't really fix the level curve. And lots of gym leaders just use Kanto Pokemon, and even half the Pokemon you find in Johto in the wild are just Kanto Pokemon, you know? And there's like so many new Pokemon introduced in Johto that you just never see in a playthrough. And some you would only find in Mount Silver, you know, in post-game. So it's like, you don't even get them on your team in the main story. Besides the level curve, besides like too many Kanto Pokemon appearing in Johto, these games are incredible. If you try to find them on eBay, very, very pricey. Upwards of $100 to $200. And the Pokewalker itself is super expensive too, like $60 to $80. Luckily I have all my stuff from my childhood, but that's the only downside. These are amazing games and I love them. It's so much content, so much to do, so much post-game stuff. Definitely recommend go play it. They're amazing games, I love them. Absolutely amazing. Go play them. I'll see you next time.